Okay, so today we're going to talk about a few theorems about triangle. First thing is called triangle inequality theorem. What it means is the sum, which means addition, the sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the length of the third side. What it means is if I were to add the sides C and B, C plus B has to be greater than the side of A. If I were to add C and A, it has to be greater than B. And lastly, if I were to add A and B, it's greater than C. So no matter which two sides you're adding, it has to be a greater value than the one of the length of the third. So let's take a look at example 1. We have a triangle that has sides A equals 3, B equals 4, C equals 5. Alright, so let's try this. C plus B has to be greater than A. Let's check that first. So C is 5 plus B, which is 4, is greater than 3. 5 plus 4 is 9, which is greater than 3. That's correct. But you can't just check one. You have to check all three sides. So B, let's check C plus A is greater than B. 5 plus 3 is greater than 4, which says 8 is greater than 4. That is also correct. Last one, let's check one more. A plus B is greater than C. A plus B, so B 3 plus 4 is greater than 5, which means 7 is greater than 5. That is also correct. If you're able to say yes, yes, yes for all three, then we can say it is a triangle. Example 2. Let's do the same thing. Let me change the color quickly. Let's say I were to add A and B together and it has to be greater than C. A plus B is 5 plus 7 is greater than 15. 12 is greater than 15. Is that true? Is 12 greater than 15? That is not true. So because A and B added together is shorter than the C, we are not going to be able to form a triangle. So it is not a triangle. You cannot draw a triangle with the lengths of 5, 7, and 15. So imagine if you were to have cut out a ribbon that's 15 centimeters long, and you cut out the one that's 7, and you cut out one that's 5. In order for you to make a triangle, all 3 points has to reach each other, but it doesn't. Therefore, that is the reason why example 2 is not a triangle. Next, we're going to talk about angles and sides of a triangle. So, I'm going to do something really crazy right now. Well, not that crazy, but you know. So if I were to extend this out really long, okay, and if I were to extend this line really long, notice how it's going to form a triangle, okay? So what we're given is, we're given the two angles of the triangle, and we also want to find the angle of that missing angle. So the sum of the angles of the triangle is always going to be 180 degrees. It doesn't matter what the angles are. At the end of the day, all three added together has to be 180 degrees. So in this case, we have 45 plus 108. And let's say this missing one is x. It has to be 180 degrees. It could have been a different angle, but again, at the end of the day, it has to be 180 degrees. So these two added together is 153 plus x is equal to 180. Subtract away 150 to find the x. X is equal to 27 degrees. So this x, the missing one here, is 27 degrees wide. So again, we were able to find what the length of the missing angle is because we know that the sum of all three angles is going to be 180 degrees for triangles. Last bit of information is that the shortest side is always going to be opposite the smallest interior angle, and the longest side is always going to be opposite the largest interior angle. What it means is, so in this triangle of 45, 45, 108, 27, the smallest is 27. Notice how it's also on the opposite end of the smallest, the shortest side. And we have an angle 108, which is the longest, the largest side. It is also on the opposite end of the longest side. That's basically what it means. Okay? And that is the end of today's note.